doTERRA coffee has green beans and flowers on it here all at the same time. Now this can make things a little bit difficult to pick if I get too much overlapping, but perhaps for a small guy like me, where I'd be doing most of this picking myself, this would probably work out, give me a longer harvest anyway. We're almost ripe beans hiding down in there, and then of course young pineapples. The young pineapples, these are so delicious. They won't be ready until late summer, fall. I can't wait to come back here for these. These were put in about 1.5 years ago. This is some of the older plants up here on top of the hill. Here's another one of the annonas that grows well in Hawaii. This is Rollinia. See a couple of immature fruit over there. And then down and behind it, we've got papayas growing down there. And they do pretty well here. We're a little bit high up the mountain for papayas, but you can see this one right there ripening. Had one off the plants the other day for breakfast. It was delicious. Papaya is usually grown closer to the ocean. Elevation maybe 500 feet or so is typical for commercial production, but we do pretty well with them this high up. This is Capulin cherry. It's a tropical evergreen prunus that produces black cherries that are reasonably edible. It comes from South America in the Andes. It's followed by koa trees going on down that way. So we started planting down right around the house, and then gradually we moved up the hill towards the back, and so everything gets younger and younger as we go up. The process here is to go ahead, take the truck, run down all the grass that's out here, because we got plenty of nice thick grass all over the pasture. It'll eat anything alive that you try to plant in it. It's even hard to walk through that stuff, it's so thick. Good for cows, but otherwise, if you're trying to grow coffee or fruit trees or something, since I'm not here every day, I decided to use weed block, the woven industrial style weed block. See it right there. I believe it's like a polypropylene plastic that's been woven. It's tough stuff. It lasts for years out here in the sun. And I just run the truck around, flatten the grass down, and then unroll the weed block in 12-foot wide rolls, and I staple it down with landscape staples, weight it down with the lava rocks you see out there to make sure the trade winds don't pick it up. Then after the grass dies underneath, I just come along, cut slits in it, and stick my plants in. Works pretty slick. I've been doing it for quite a few years now. First thing we ever planted here was this row of koa trees. They're growing pretty slow out there in the grass. Guys were lucky to even survive it. I do much, much better with the koa trees after I put down the weed block. That koa tree right over there, for instance, that would have been planted in 2005. February 2005, that tree. Right over here, this one that was planted in weed block was planted a year ago, and so it's 2012 now, so that was planted in 2011, and it's probably half the size at least of the one that was planted back in 2005. I've got some others on the other side of the property in weed block that are maybe 2 years, and they're already as large as the ones at the back fence line. Lesson learned: koa trees don't like fighting grass. Using the same technique in the ornamental landscape around the house, we put weed block down over the soil, killed the grass off, and then I put ornamentals in through the weed block. But down there, I'm covering it with a ground cover called perennial peanut. See the gravel from the driveway where it meets the weed block, coming up there to my house porch. Here we got Hawaiian tea plant and Phoenix robellini, or dwarf date palm, growing, and it's surrounded by this perennial peanut. It's a legume. It's got yellow flowers on it. Looks almost exactly like edible garden peanuts. Grows real good here. Makes a nice, low, strong legume ground cover that will cover up all this weed block on me. And it tends to keep the weed seeds from sprouting. I'm very happy about it, and I'm going to propagate it and use a lot more of it. Here's Ellen's orchid collection. One of her new cattleyas there. Got a epidendron blooming over there. These are all in 2-gallon buckets over here, planted in coconut hull fiber chopped up.